had plenty of rain in the AFL clash that just finished up 20 minutes or so ago. The Swans with a win.
Can't wait to see what Luke Parker does. I was so surprised he wasn't dropped straight back into the derby. He's got enough Brett Kirk medals to fill a house, but he's lining up here in the centre square.
They obviously proved in the AFL clash that they didn't need him as the umpire bounces the ball. Madden wins the hit-out, coming in off an extraordinary game last week, Nick Madden, and wins the clearance. Out wide looking for Rouston, who wins the free kick for high contact. Rouston looks ahead, sees Connor Stone in the Giants forward 50, goes wider instead for Nick Haynes, the veteran. More than 200 AFL games of experience next to his game, Nick Haynes, only bettered by Luke Parker in today's proceedings. Thumps it long, Nick Haynes. Big fly from Keefe. He was in the goals last week, Lockie Keefe. A few players around that. And we'll have a stoppage.
Yeah, plenty of experience today. Nick Haynes, one of 5 of those inaugural Giants. They found a free kick, the umps, and it will go the way of Madden. So the Giants will have the first shot on goal. Justin Edwards, tell us about Nick Madden's game last week. It was extraordinary, some of the numbers he pulled in.
31 disposals for a ruckman to go with 33 hit-outs, 8 marks and 8 tackles. It was extraordinary from Nick Madden.
So the 19-year-old lining up on a slide angle. He'll kick from inside 40. And he makes no mistake. Giants on the board within the first 90 seconds. They lead 1 straight 6. Swans yet to score.
A great start from Nick Madden. Last week, he had to fill the role of Braden Pruce, who got injured running out onto the ground.
Amazing.
So this is 2 minutes before the bounce. Madden is suddenly thrust into being the only ruckman, the only legitimate ruckman in the game, which is a completely different role than what he would have been preparing for, probably even being number 2 behind Braden Pruce. So such a terrific game. He's obviously proving he can do it.
Yeah, and those 14 clearances, that is a huge number for a ruckman. And he's on the board early with a goal to kick off this VFL clash.
They're back to the centre of the ground where you can see the evidence that a game has been played here today. So McAndrew and Madden to do battle. McMullen couldn't get boot to ball. Sheldrick, there's Parker. If there's a perfect contested ball player for Ingrid Sheldrick to be learning off, it's Luke Parker in the centre of the SCG. Ball thrown up again. McAndrew and Madden to do battle. There's Parker. Hacks it forward. Looking for Vickery. Tried to put it into the path of Caden Cleary. O'Halloran's there, and he's coming. Returning from that calf injury. Fay. Wrapped up in a strong tackle by Constanti, and the Swans forced the turnover. Sheldrick, great smother from Lecalier. Sheldrick will go again. Hand pass for Campbell. Clever little tap on for Caleb Mitchell. Went in the centre from the tight angle. Vickery couldn't hold on, and that'll be out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
Lecalier, another one of those players who has had plenty of AFL experience. At least a couple of years ago he did. He played 2 games in a row this season. Back in the VFL team, though, this week with Sam Taylor coming in to the ones. And he looks like he's running loose at the moment. Lecalier. Sharon will be spun back in. Swans attacking end. Buller out of the ruck. Dishes it off. On the left. Flying shot at goal, I think, from Campbell. And it's missed everything. Out of bounds on the full. Score remains 1 goal straight to 0.
Braden Campbell back into the Swans VFL side. She'd been the sub at AFL level for the past couple of weeks, so we'll get a full game in today, which he probably needed after just playing half a quarter for the last couple of weeks. Here's Snell for the Swans. Loopy old hand pass over the top for Caleb Mitchell, and that'll be over the boundary line for a throw-in. Braden Campbell, 55 AFL games to his name, had played every game at AFL level so far this season, but now finds himself back in the VFL, but a chance to impress John Longmire and the Swans coaching staff.
So McAndrew and Madden on the edge of the Swans attacking 50. Parker overruns it. Spills for the Giants. Kick up the line. Francis is waiting there in best position. He had his arm chopped, it looked like, by Stone. Umpire lets the ball play. Kick out of midair from Harms. He missed it. Has a second go at it, but well tackled by Enderman. Ball still in dispute. Who can find it and release from the contest? That is a great tackle from Harry Rouston. Footy spills free. Mitchell on his left turns. Blind kick up towards the youngster Green. Can't keep it in. Ball goes out of bounds. 65 away from the Swans attacking goal.
Seeing Phoenix Gothard getting involved in a little bit of the play there. Number 29 for the Giants. Pick 12 in the draft. Only played, this will be his second VFL appearance. Been struggled a bit with illness. Had a bit of glandular fever in the off-season. Returns this week after missing a couple of weeks. Here's Sheldrick. Cleary. Hand pass over the top, and there is Gothard. Got it back to Madden. High old kick. Harms and Francis in a contest to hit the ground and then favoured the little man in Harms. He got a kick forward. Hamling swept it up. Enderman won the free kick for the Swans. Francis will run past as a hand pass option. Wide for Vickery. Dangerous kick into the corridor, and it's picked off by Harms. Keefe taps it into the path of Harms. He can run into goal, Matt Harms. Hand passes over the top for Gruzevski. Just gets boot to ball in time, Max Gruzevski, and the Giants have got the first two.
That was really well done from Harms. Had a few good bits of play in those passages, putting tackles on, tap-ons, and did well there to cut off that risky kick from the Swans.
3 goals last week for Max Gruzevski. That makes it 10 goals so far this season with the goal he's just kicked. 10 goals in this, his 5th game. Pick 22 in the 2022 draft. Of course, the Giants taking 2 key forwards in that first round. Aaron Cadman picked 1 and Max Gruzevski picked 22.
And re-signed him as well recently until 2026. So they believe he is a player of the future for their club.
Got a lot of talent, Max Gruzevski, a lot of talent. And as he builds into that body, puts a bit more muscle on, he'll be a genuine key forward option at AFL level.
Keefe's going to line up in the ruck for the Giants as Madden gets a bit of a spell. Ball bounced. Giants win it through O'Halloran, who dishes off to Rouston. He kicks it wide off the side of his boot. Should favour Cumming. It does. Stone's there with him. Hard up against the boundary line. Goes long. It's 2-on-2. Well fisted through. I think that might have been Hamling, the last line of defence. And Magor will take the kick out.
Of course, we've just seen Tom McCartan miss or be taken out of the AFL game due to concussion. So that is an opportunity for Joel Hamling, Aaron Francis and Will Edwards to try and press their claims as a replacement. Long up the line, Will Green was the target. Hamilton's there for the Giants. Parker getting involved for Sydney. Big tap over the top. Luke Parker comes away with it again. Couldn't find a target with his hand pass. Fonte went wide looking for Haynes. Had to do some body work on Bartholomeus. It's dragged under here, and that's going to be holding the ball. So it'll be free kick going the way of the Sydney Swans. And there's a few who've hung around on the far side in the crowd who've liking that free kick. As John Longmire just walks past the ball there. He'll be taking a keen interest in proceedings. Bullard, the target. Alir got a fist in. Gothard. Edwards for the Swans. Now Mitchell kicks it forward. Constanti takes the mark. Streaming inside 50 were a couple of Swans. Constanti perhaps tries to do a little bit too much with it. Mitchell. Constanti might get another chance here, but the Giants' pressure is strong. Fay. Now Haynes. That's a dangerous grubbing little kick, but it'll work. Gothard. And now Rouston. Thumps it high. Gruzevski the target. In a one-on-one battle with Francis, Gruzevski just hacks it forward. Edwards streaming back, a little bit of soccer. Nice pass for Francis. A little bit of danger there for Aaron Francis, but he navigated it nicely. Will Edwards kicks it up the line.
Edwards, that long right boot will clear the pack of players, so it's a bit of a hit and run here. Out of midair. That is brilliant from Green. If it had have gone slightly left, it cleared Lecalier. He'll get back, he'll be first there. Doesn't rush the behind. Instead, kicks it to the pocket, and marking it was Bound.
I think brilliant might be a little bit generous there from Green.
Well, brilliance can come in sort of luck. Cleary, he kicks it to the hot spot. Waiting there was Lecalier, who hasn't got an opponent at the moment. Edwards for the Swans. Handball's off. Luke Parker kicks to the line. I think it was marked just before the goals.
Nick Haynes doing the defensive work and plays on quickly. Likes what he sees on the far side. Perfect kick for Cooper Hamilton. Now they'll go up the corridor, the Giants. Plenty of targets here. Quigg. Got Gruzevski and Keefe drifting forward. So too is Hebron. It's going to hold it up. The Swans have defended it nicely. There's the kick for Keefe. That's the kick that'll open things up. Stone is in the pocket for the Giants. Gruzevski is deep. The option he chooses is to go deep. Kelly. Here's O'Halloran. Can't collect it cleanly. Luke Parker laying a strong tackle. You'd expect nothing less from Luke Parker, laying the big tackle on Joe Rush.
So 9.5 minutes into this first term. Giants with the first couple. O'Halloran breaks from the contest on his right boot. Near side. The second minor of the game. 2-2-14. Swans yet to score. That would have been something.
Would have been some goal from Xavier O'Halloran. Dropped this week. He's another that's played every game at AFL level so far this year. 55 AFL games to his name.
Jaden Magor plays on. Short option is Francis, and he uses it in the right back pocket. Inboard, risky kick to Kelly. It pays off because it opens up the whole field for the Swans. Kelly asks a few to come to him. One of them's Buller. Eventually gets around his opponent but drops a mark. Giants have numbers here. Haynes is there. Really short kick to Ralston. That was about 6 metres. He tried to fool the umpire. He didn't. Kick up the line, and Cumming marks on the wing, hard up against the boundary.
Isaac Cumming playing his second game after injuring his calf in the pre-season. 21 disposals last week in his return from injury, and 75 AFL games to his name. I'm sure he'll be back at AFL level in no time. Grzewski flew high there. Francis's hand pass was smothered. Here's Harms. Couple of sockers in a row. Eventually finds his teammate, but the Swans do well enough to force the turnover. Buller. Plenty of Swans around this footy. Smith getting involved. Parker. There is Willem Smith back to Parker. Luke Parker, great to see him back after that broken arm in a pre-season game against the Giants, of course. 5-time Brett Kirk medalist, loves playing well against the Giants. McAndrew, hand pass for Bartholomeus, hacks it inside 50. Vickery's out the back, it won't get to them. Here's Edwards. Plenty of Swans around this. McAndrew and now Cleary. Eventually they get the deep entry. Buller has got Leclerc to beat. Couldn't quite beat him. Still the chance there. Vickery off the ground. The Giants think it's touched. The goal umpire disagrees. There's the Swans first.
Yeah, Vickery was just so quick to react there. The ball hit the deck off that Buller-Leclerc contest. And it was like a little side foot into the back netting from Vickery.
Very nicely done from Cooper Vickery. Pick 27 of the 2022 AFL draft. Missed a lot of last year with a foot injury. Great to see him back out there and going strong.
And the Swans are on the board. Yeah, really interesting game, this one. Both clubs, well, GWS, they were sitting 6th at the start of this round. 3 wins out of 4. But as we said at the top, both teams loading up with a lot of AFLW listed players, plenty of experience, and guys that would feel like they need to perform to get back in to the side. For the Swans, we mentioned him a couple of times, Braden Campbell played something like 22 games last year. Couple as the sub, though, his most recent ones. McAndrew down to Sheldrick. Kicks it inside 50. Well read by Haynes, but he spilt the mark. A slippery footy might have evaded him here. Lugston shirks one tackle. Shot on goal is good. Backs up 2 goals from last week with the second goal from the Swans in the first quarter here. He showed experience well above his age just there, bouncing off a tackle and kicking truly.
Very well done from Lugston. Made his debut only a couple of weeks ago at VFL level and is already looking at home at this level. So it's 2 goals now for the Swans, matching the first 2 from the Giants. You mentioned how much AFL experience we've got out there, Declan. Over 500 games worth of experience for both players, for both clubs rather. Now more than half of that from the Swans comes from Luke Parker. 283 games to his name. The Giants as well have got Nick Haynes, over 200 gamers out there, but plenty of high-quality talent out there.
Yeah, Isaac Cumming's another one who, he's played 20-plus games for the last 3 seasons, so coming back from that calf injury, he won't want to be in this team for long.
A couple of AFL-listed rucks go at it in Madden and McAndrew. O'Halloran's in pursuit. Parker got a little soccer on it. Nice, clever tap on from Cleary. Kelly takes the Swans forward, and they've got a big chance here. Vickery drives it deep. Buller is in a one-on-one. That's really well done from Wade Dirksen. Made the transition to defence this year, Wade Dirksen. And he's looking at home in the back half. That's not his best kick. Kelly's able to force the spoil on Cumming. danger here for the Giants. Didn't give away the high contact free kick according to the umpire, and there'll be a stoppage in the Swans forward pocket.
That was a good little mocker there, Justin. Just as you said, he was looking at home and down back. He pulled a kick that was maybe a little bit too tight. Left forward pocket, Swans attacking end, tap down from Buller. Couple of bounces across the boundary line.
Mid-season draftee in 2022, Wade Dirksen. They've kept enough faith in him to keep him on the list thus far, still yet to debut.
So the Swans with 2 goals following straight on from the Giants who had the first 2 of the game. Buller, neutral tap. Sheldrick just runs through the contest. He came so close to ripping the footy out. Was well tackled. Giants clear out the far side. Hamilton's first there. Well tackled. Ball spills out. I think that was Shipley for the Swans, who had a bit to do with the Giants in his younger years, now on that Swans VFL list. Ball will be thrown back in about 60 metres out from that Swans attacking goal.
Yeah, formerly on the Giants AFL list, Nick Shipley. And Madden and McAndrew go at it again. Here's Cumming. He's had plenty of the footy early. Gothard. Hand pass over the top for O'Halloran, who's got some space in front of him. Goes the hand pass again, and now the chance really opens up for the Giants. Gruzewski's the target. He's competing against Snell. Snell did it well. Francis is back there too, and the Swans do it well enough and see it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Been so impressed with Snell this season. We've called a couple of games, Justin, where one-on-one, he hardly gets beaten.
A part of the under-18 Allies win last year, along with Caden Cleary, Indy Kirk among the others in the Swans side. He was a member of the Lions Academy, Patrick Snell, but they opted not to draft him. Stone was being held and won the free kick. Connor Stone, the beneficiary of a holding the man free kick there, and he'll line up for goal.
Yeah, it was Tom Longmire who was a little bit too eager to just keep an eye on Stone there, giving away the free kick. And the Giants will look to stretch their lead and kick the 5th of this first quarter.
Connor Stone is right up the top of the VFL leading goal kickers so far this season, perhaps. So it would have seemed a little bit unlikely, but he's made the move forward this year, and he's doing a good job of it. His finishing has been exceptional, Connor Stone. Gets his first of the afternoon, and that's his 12th goal this year in a little over 4 games.
He's had a heap of issues with hamstrings, even had a bit of... I was reading this week, I didn't realise it was bad as arthritis. So he had a bulging disc, which then, to be getting arthritic symptoms at age, 22?
Yeah, he and Brent Daniels took the trip overseas to America to see a hamstring specialist there. It's worked out well for both of them. They're both fitting on the park and firing.
So 17 minutes into this first term, Giants 3-2-20, the Swans 2 straight 12. Cumming has been thrown into the centre square. McMullen as well as Ralston, the others to make up that Giants quartet, with Madden and Green doing battle. Neutral tap down, so ball's there to be won. The umpire has found a free kick, and advantage has not been paid. This was
I think the umpire, non-controlling umpire, paid that free kick, which means the umpire in the centre of the ground blows time off, and you can't take advantage when the time is off, so it'll have to come all the way back to the centre of the ground.
I reckon there were 2 or 3 people who knew what was happening on the ground just then. It was that non-officiating, non-controlling umpire. Found the free kick, which will go to Ralston. There's one man behind him, now there's none, so everything is ahead of him as he stands in the middle of the SCG. Can he find a pocket of space? Wide is Fay. Fans out that way. He's averaging nearly 30 a game this year, Josh Fay. Stepping up in 2024. Still 2 kicks from home. Well, 3 if he kicks it like that. That was 15 on the dot. Cumming. He's 75 metres out from goal. Delivers to the pocket, and once again, Snell wins the one-on-one. I think it was against Gruzewski, and they get around Patrick Snell. Another impressive little mini victory for him.
A couple of really impressive early defensive efforts from Patrick Snell. This ball being thrown in front of a few of the Giants' brains trust. Jason McCartney, the general manager of football, having a look. Assistant coach Jeremy Laidler among the onlookers. And Madden rips it free. Finds the hand pass, and now it's Angwin. Hand pass for Fonte. He couldn't get a hold of it. Bartholomeus there for the Swans. And now Sydney can run away. Buller got another hand pass over the top in Vickery. There's not too much ahead of him. The umpires have picked out a free kick. Sydney will take the advantage. Constani inside 50 for Lugsden. He'll go back and have the shot on goal, James Lugsden, for his second.
Yeah, as we mentioned, kick 2 last week. Coming from the Manly Wolves through that Swans Academy as well. This will be his 3rd VFL game. Not bad if he can have a couple of goals to his name in 2 of his 3 VFL games as the clock ticks into 20 minutes.
James Lugsden, 2 goals last week against Box Hill. That's not his best kick. It'll fall short, and Lecalier ensures that it goes through for a minor score.
Fay will take the footy, as I said, averaging 30, as high as 39 disposals he's registered this year. A few of them from kick-outs, but he is finding the footy. Delivers deep. That was Quigg. Couldn't take the mark. Makes it work, though. Spiralling ball forward and front position. That was good from Harms. Still a bit away from goal, so they fan wide to Hamilton. He delivers inside 50. Good one-on-one. And spoilt over the line by Magor.
Phoenix Gothard again, the target inside 50 for the Giants. Pick 12 in the draft. Another one of the small forwards that the Giants can add to their arsenal. Darcy Jones and Harvey Thomas have made the step up successfully at AFL level so far this season. Phoenix just another one that they've got coming through, along with Brent Daniels, Toby Bedford, Toby Green. The list goes on. Here's Rouston for the Giants. In a contest with Vickery, Campbell came away with it, and now Shipley's streaming through the centre of the SCG. A wide kick, almost 90 degrees out for Bartholomeus. He goes forward this time. Cleary has got a little bit of space. Shipley's worked his way inside forward 50. Cleary goes deeper than that. Giants had the numbers there. Campbell with a big spoil over the top. Sheldrick got boot to ball. It was smothered. McAndrew with a little socker. Parker was there too. Nice tackle on Lecalier. We'll have a ball up in Sydney's forward pocket.
Nearly 22 minutes into this first term. The curtain closer here at the SCG. Madden with a big fist. Straight to Hamilton. They'll clear it down this near wing and clattered into. Good, strong spoil from Longmire. Ball goes out of bounds in neutral territory, centre wing.
Big afternoon for the Swans key defenders. There's a place up for grabs with Tom McCartan to miss at least 1 week, and you'd think the Swans will be ultra cautious with him with his concussion history. So Hamling, Francis and Edwards have all got something extra to play for today. O'Halloran shrugs off the Mitchell tackle, shrugs off another tackle, gives the hand pass to Rouston. Inside 50 go the Giants. Keefe is deep, didn't quite get over the back for him. Still the chances there for Keefe. Gets the snap on it, great smother from Francis. Been plenty of smothers early in the slippery conditions. Campbell, he's got quite a bit of the footy early too. Hamling's kick clears defensive 50, and that's a nice mark taken by Will Green on the much bigger Madden. Goes backwards for Campbell. Bartholomeus is a target up the line. Goes a little bit more central, and that's a perfectly weighted kick for Francis. Here's Parker. He looks for Cleary. Got to him on the bounce. Shipley was his target inside 50. Lugsden comes and cleans things up. Can give the hand pass back to Shipley. Just tries to balk a couple, Nick Shipley. Just got the kick away in time, but put himself under a bit of pressure, and Harry Rouston takes the intercept mark.
Harry Rouston at centre half back. Averaging 25 touches this year. Combines with O'Halloran to Lecalier. They stream through the middle of the SCG. Deliver long to the one-on-one. Harms. Second juggle. Can't mark it. Takes possession. Handball's inboard. Lockie Keefe on his left. Misses on the near side. Costly miss. That was a pretty simple finish for what is a veteran of AFL here at VFL level. A minor score, 3-3-21, plays 2-1-13.
Goal kicking a little bit of a problem for Lockie Keefe last week as well. 4 goals and 3 behinds. Was certainly the dominant forward on the ground and could have made a bigger impact against North Melbourne. Francis opted to kick straight up the guts looking for Campbell. Vickery got it to Enderman. Edwards, Cleary, and now Shipley's in a little bit of space. He's got Constanti over the top but couldn't hold on. Nicely done by Joe Fonte to leave his man and affect that contest. Angwin gives to Stone, now Harms. Went back looking for Stone again. Here's Shipley, who works back well to clean up his mess. Edwards, Vickery and O'Halloran in pursuit. Vickery keeps his feet, O'Halloran didn't. And that allows the Swans a late opportunity here. Buller got the hand pass from Edwards. Ball spilled loose, but it's taken back in again, and the umpire will ball it up.
Some scrappy play. If you are watching from somewhere other than Sydney, you might be aware it has rained all week here. And during the second quarter of the AFL game, it rained for about 10 minutes, as heavy as you can get. Swans, can they find a late goal? Inside 50, leaping at the footy is Parker, comes second deep. Affects the spoil, spills to Angwin. Giants clear, Swans have numbers though. It's a good mark from Kelly. He's 60 metres out, points long, delivers long. And a couple of Swans fall over. So it is an easy mark for Dirksen, deep in his defensive half, and this time makes no mistake. Kicking it to Fay, who's got space in front of him. Hands it off to Haynes. He dishes to Hamilton, the face of the Giants. The social media team love him. And he goes back to Haynes. Deep kick up the line. Francis was in good position. It was a really good late spoil there from Hebron, who wasn't in the best place to mark it and neutralise the contest. Footy goes out of bounds as we hit 26 minutes into the first quarter. Giants lead by 8.
Will Green, the youngster, the first round pick for the Swans, into the ruck against Nick Madden. Got front position Green, but Madden gave away the free kick. So Will Green, once the ball comes back, will collect this free kick. Pick 16 in the 2023 draft, Will Green, and the All-Australian ruckman in the under-18s. So called to play on Will Green and thumps it long. McAndrew's the tall target. Got hands to it but couldn't mark. Sheldrick with the cromming work. Out of mid-air, Angus Sheldrick. Only through for a minor score. That was always a little ambitious. Out of mid-air and on the non-preferred.
Would you have called that one brilliant?
If it went in the goal, yes.
Yes, that was a good volley. Josh Fay, another kick out, another stat to Haynes. He marks and plays on. Kelly for the Swans was at the front of the contest there. Nearly took the mark, and the umpire's going to pay him the free kick. Inboard to Magor. Just the required 15. Swans sit 70 from goal. Magor to the hot spot. McAndrew is down there as well as Buller. Gets rid of his man. Second grab. Doesn't take it. Running through is Sheldrick. He spills it. Goes and gets it again, though. Sees Mitchell. His handball is wayward, though. And McMullen breaks out of defensive 50 to a one-on-one. Edwards did really well for the Swans over Keefe. Swans will have numbers, and they'll break out the far side through Hamling.
So chance for a late one for the Swans here. 27.5 minutes gone. Sheldrick, driving kick inside 50. Madden gets back and takes the intercept mark. That's what he was doing all last week against North Melbourne. Drifting back, taking intercept marks. He does it again.
Yeah, you see them do it at all levels. They send a tall back, and Madden did what he was required to do, taking that grab.
Dirksen finds Fay. In the long sleeves again today, Josh Fay. Racks up the footy and always has a kick-to-handball ratio with plenty more kicks. Hamling gets the fist on that. Green around the back. Kelly, a big sweeping hand pass over the top. A couple of Swans to choose from. Sheldrick. Eventually it gets to Edwards. He has a bounce, Edwards. Gives to McAndrew. Perhaps wants a smaller player to have it. Caden Cleary with a kick from the boundary line. What an exceptional goal from the Swans youngster.
I lost count. I reckon it was a dozen handballs up until that kick. And Cleary had no other options, had the right to go for goal on that tight angle. And he delivered. Gets it to within 1 point.
Caden Cleary out of the Swans Academy, picked 24 in last year's draft. And he's showing what his potential is at VFL level. He played a lot of VFL last year as well. Sydney matching Collingwood's bid for him. He was another that was part of that under-18 Allies win, the first time the Allies won the National Under-18 Championships. Patrick Snell a part of that too. Indy Kirk for the Swans, couple for the Giants too. It's great to see footy thriving in the northern states, and Tasmania, of course, part of the Allies.
So nearly 30 minutes into this first quarter, which, Justin, we shouldn't be surprised because the quarters were long against the Suns here at the SCG a couple of weeks ago. 1 point the difference. Shadows of quarter time. Ball there to be won. Parker does win it. He's tackled by Ralston. Dishes off just in time. Magor has Cleary wide. It bounces short of him. He taps it forward with his foot. Umpire might say it was insufficient. Hamilton bemused for the Giants. He thought that was the call. We'll have a ball in. Giants lead by 1.
Angus Sheldrick, the leading disposal winner on the ground thus far with 10. Harry Ralston with 9 for the Giants. Luke Parker, he's got 7. So Madden won that hit out. Campbell, there's Parker again. Magor, Campbell. Did well with the balking work, Campbell. Eventually got the hand pass to Sheldrick. He kicked inside 50 for the Swans. Big fly from Constanti. Got over the back to Hamling, who's been swung forward. Now from the tight angle. Willem Smith couldn't quite get it done through for a behind. It's the Swans 3-4-22. The Giants 3-3-21.
Nick Haynes just says to Josh Fay, give me a go. I want a freebie. Runs out of the goal square. Delivers long. Enderman's at the front of the pack if it spills that way. So too was Edwards. But Madden followed up his spoil with a good contested grab. Cleary tackled him. They both wrestle on the ground and we'll have a ball up. 60 out from the Swans attacking goal. Umpire wastes no time. Madden spikes it deep. Waiting at the back. Campbell had a few good touches these last couple of minutes. Classy stuff. Keeps it in. Delivers long on his left. One-on-one. Hamling gets rid of his opponent. Takes a diving mark. 20 metres out. He'll kick for goal. He's been swung forward and might kick a major here after the siren.
Do you reckon he's got a goal-kicking routine, Joel Hamling?
Usually when you're a full-back or a centre-half-back, you're the one who stands in the goal square and marks it and kicks it back to the forwards. So hopefully he's been watching some of those forwards. He's lined up on the angle here. The siren has gone. We're 31.5 minutes into this first quarter. Joel Hamling. And he kicks straight at his 4th AFL club. There is a spot to be had in the Swans team with Tom McCartan injured. And Joel Hamling kicks a goal after the siren to give Swans the lead. They lead here at quarter time, 27-21. Justin Edwards and Declan Byrne here with you. What did you make of that first quarter, Justin? Who got the footy?
Angus Sheldrick the best, 11 disposals. Caden Cleary and Nick Haynes with 9 each.
McAndrew and Madden in the middle. Madden fresh off that probably best game at this level last week. Gets the tap down. Ralston roosts it long. It reaches the edge of the centre square. Umps have pound a free kick. And it'll go the Swans' way. Francis. He delivers long and straight down the middle. Intercepted by Fonte. So the Giants move it wide. Gothard dishes off to Angwin. Lowers the eyes. Spots up Stone. He marks 47 metres out. Points straight to the big sticks.
Connor Stone kicked a goal in the first quarter. He's been in great goal-kicking form for the past this time. And Phoenix Gothard will have a shot on goal.
One of the best draft moments of the 2023 draft when Phoenix Gothard was surprised himself. Most people in the room couldn't believe he was taken at pick 12 by the Giants. In fact, he wasn't even invited along to the draft. He came along with his mate, Connor Sullivan, who went just before him. And the loudest cheer was when Phoenix Gothard's name was read out. Well, I reckon his Giants teammates will get around him here on a very tough angle. In his second game for the club at this level, and it's just to the right. Minor score, 5 points the difference. Swans lead 27-22.
Jaden Magor plays on quickly up the line looking for Buller. Terrific mark drifting across his Isaac Cumming. Now he looks at a crowded forward 50. opens things up. He has the shot on goal. Isaac coming from 55 out. Hits the post.
No clear option there, so had the right. You've got that space afforded to you.
He hit the post.
Got the
distance. 3/4 of the way up.
Yeah,
that's not a problem.
Absolutely not. Francis on kick-out duty for the Swans. Buller has some space. Good late spoil from Madden. Swans might get away with it here. Cleary, handball to Campbell. He taps it on. It's in dispute here. O'Halloran for the Giants. Middle of the SCG. Who can win it? Swans do. Kicked forward inside 50. Haynes was in best position for the Giants. Spills it. Still has some time. Hamling chasing him. But he's wise enough to find a target just outside 50. And the Giants mark and just settle things down.
Joel Hamling continues to be thrown forward for the Swans. Perhaps Peter Laddams being a laid out plays a factor in that as Aaron Francis takes the intercept mark. Dangerous kick for the corridor. Parker waits for it to bounce, but he judged it beautifully, Luke Parker. Inside 50 for Buller, but when you're behind Leclerc, you're never going to get past him. The best vertical leap in the AFL, Leclerc. Chip for Fay. Now Haynes. Long up the line looking for Keefe. He's got a little bit of space on Will Edwards. Streaming inside 50 is Connor Stone. The kick goes deeper than that. Grzewski turns around on it. Nice kick. Looking for Toby McMullen, who won the free kick.
Yeah, it was a good bit of space. They got on the opponent, Edwards, there. And they had men out everywhere. And a short kick from McMullen finds O'Halloran.
Xavier O'Halloran dropped to VFL level this week. The 55 AFL games to his name. One of the most experienced out there for the Giants. And we'll be hoping to impress Adam Kingsley and the rest of the Giants coaching staff to earn a call-up. So Xavier O'Halloran from directly in front to restore the Giants' lead. That's not a good kick. Lucky to sneak in for a behind. Minus score the Giants 3-5-23. Trail by 4 points. The Swans 4-3-27.
So Edwards with the footy in his hand for the Swans. And that is a monster kick. Buller nearly marks it in the centre circle. Footy still in dispute. Cleary for the Swans can't grab it. His opposite number O'Halloran does, but he's tackled. Ball came free, and the umpire's going to reward Cleary. So Swans will have the free kick just to the left of the centre circle. 33-33. The red and white variety wins out there.
Now Caden Cleary is going to drive it long to the big pack of players. Buller and Hamling the targets. Alir once again flew highest. Cumming tried to break a couple. Must have got a hand pass away according to the umpire. Lugsden, he was tackled straight away. Huge pack of players around that. The ball spills loose. The umpire allows them to play for a little bit before we'll have another stoppage.
You mentioned Leclerc's vertical leap. He looked like he had a trampoline there. He just sprung up at that footy.
The highest vertical leap ever recorded at an AFL draft combine. 5 centimetres higher than the previous record holder, Nick Natanui. Parker, Sheldrick, Kelly. Thumps a kick inside 50. It's got to drop short. The touch play on is the call. So Bartholomeus plays on quickly. Edwards beats a couple. Edwards from 40 metres out is just offline. So we just have a Giants player. Isaac Cumming is sitting on the ground yet to get to his feet after that contest.
It's really good from Edwards, though, who went left and right through traffic. Had the time to finish. Just pulled it left. Fay on kick-out duty to Haynes. That combo has been tearing it up down back so far for the Giants. They go long. Grzewski can't mark. Francis is there for the Swans. He taps it forward, but only into a Giants' hands. They'll go forward again, but turn it over. Kelly's wrapped up immediately by Harms. Still standing in the tackle, so umpire might say he has prior. He does. Harms for the Giants with possession. 60 metres out from goal. Has options in the centre, but will go long to the hot spot instead. The talls down there are Madden and Grzewski. The smalls might do it, though. That's a goal. Gothard's first in GWS colours, his second game for the Giants. And he has a major.
So just at the other end of the ground to where that was happening, Isaac Cumming is in quite a bit of trouble here for the Giants. He's walking very slowly and very gingerly towards the interchange bench. Isaac Cumming playing his second game in a return from a calf injury that cost him most of his pre-season. Just hobbling towards the bench now as we speak. So that's not good news for the GWS Giants and for Isaac Cumming. Really struggling, and I don't think we'll see him again this afternoon.
Hardly doctors up here, Justin, but the way he limped off then, it didn't look like an ankle or a bone. It looked like a muscle. He was struggling to make those meters. That is not good news out of this round 6 Smithies VFL clash between the Swans and the Giants. Isaac coming off, unlikely to return just as he comes back from a calf.
Keefe into the ruck, wins that hit out. So Halloran's going to pursue it. The umpire's picked out a free kick, so I'll be going back to the centre. Back for Jacob Constanti, who's having a run in the centre circle. Perhaps in that little Tom Papley role. Here's Parker. Angwin got the ball to ground. Varigianis is there for the Giants. Closed down by Longmire. Fay just hacks it forward. Swans have got the numbers here. Francis, little chipping ball for Cleary, went over his head. Angwin. Sheldrick came barrelling through for the Swans. Fay and Rouston are there for the Giants. That kick only as far as Green. So Buller and Lecalier, this has been an enthralling duel thus far. They'll go at it again with the ball on the ground. Buller has the strength. Alier has the athleticism. The boundary line beat them all.
Yeah, it has been a good battle. Bit of feeling as well there as they were wrestling towards the footy. Lecalier shoving Buller. It's an amazing story, Lecalier, born in Kenya from South Sudanese parents. Taken by the Giants. A long-term defensive prospect for them. He tackles Buller. Gets a kick away. Constanti marks. It didn't go 15. He was tackled immediately. And umpire will ball it up just to the left of that goal square, about 15 metres away from the Swans' goal. Ball's thrown up straight away. Keefe and Buller do battle. Tap towards the boundary line. It was well grabbed from Ralston. He just threw it on his right foot. And it's going to come straight back as Kelly marks 55 metres out. Top of the square ball. Big pack of players. Comes to the front. Angwin gets hands to it. He was tackled. It came loose. Parker appealed for the free kick. Wasn't rewarded. Haynes boots it as long as he can. And it will eventually go over the boundary line between wing and halfback for the Giants.
Seeing Luke Parker spend a little bit of time forward, splitting his time between the midfield and the forward line. We expect once he returns to AFL level to play a little bit more forward than he has in the past. John Longmire has flagged that already this season, and with Taylor Adams coming into the Swans side, there's fewer opportunities there in the midfield. O'Halloran, hand pass, looking for Quigg. Gets it back, O'Halloran. Long kick. It's trickling towards goal. Who can win the foot race? Gruzewski is there. Edwards lays a terrific tackle. Will Edwards with some excellent defensive work. The ball stays in the field of play just momentarily. That's really nicely done from Will Edwards.
Yeah, if that was a Giants goal, he wouldn't have been in too much trouble. He almost turned that contest around. Will Edwards.
Making a case to John Longmire to replace Tom McCartan in that senior side.
Green and Keefe doing the ruck work. Green had the back position, but got the tap straight over the top. Another good defensive effort from Edwards. Smothers it across the boundary line.
Just having a look to the Giants bench. Isaac Cumming looks to have taken a seat at the back of the bench, so won't be seeing him again for the remainder of the evening.
We're at the Giants attacking end here. O'Halloran dives in at it, but he's wrapped up immediately. They do lead by 2 points, the Giants, ticking towards the 11th minute mark.
And ball thrown up again. Will Green contesting the ruck for the Swans. Kelly and Parker are there. Sheldrick is the one that ends up with it. Mitchell, clever little hand pass for Parker. Thumps it up the line. Parker, that's nicely done by Jack Buller. Finally gets the better of that matchup against Lecalier. The players stream past him. He'll just hold it up for a second. Goes backwards instead. Not a great kick for Kelly. And he'll go real wide for Snell, but Gruzevski is closing. Did it well, Max Gruzevski. Got the fist in. Needed a teammate and didn't have one. Hand pass for Will Edwards. Vickery. It's nicely done from Will Edwards. He's having a good game in defence so far.
You are leading the attack to get him into that Swans jersey in the AFL, Justin. I like it.
I think he could do some good work. Vickery thumps it long. Green and Keefe were there. Here's Smith. Lugsden. A few Giants jumpers around it, but they couldn't win the footy. Vickery thumps it forward. Haynes. That's a great intercept mark from Nick Haynes, the veteran who racked up the footy last week. Nick Haynes, 36 disposals against North Melbourne.
Kicks it to his usual AFL teammate, O'Halloran, this week, both of them in the VFL. He delivers long. Edwards again beat his man in one-on-one contest. So another strong win for the Swans and for Edwards. They kick forward. Lugsden was undersized but made it work. He's going to get the footy back on the edge of the 50. Handballs forward to Constanti. Darts one way, goes the other. And they pay advantage and pay the goal. Jacob Constanti makes the most of it. Another cracking goal for this small forward who is really the future of the Sydney Swans. Once Tom Papley exits stage left, you can imagine Jacob Constanti taking up the mantle.
And Constanti been in good goal-kicking form. 1 goal last week, 3 goals the week before in the Swans' draw against the Gold Coast Suns on this very ground, and adds another one this week. So that's 5 goals in 3 games for Jacob Constanti. Such a talent in that forward line. He's such a live wire, and they are using him a little bit in that Tom Papley role where he can have an impact at a centre bounce when it's 4v4.
And credit to Lugsden there, who was undersized at the marking contest, neutralised it and then kept running, lost his man and got that crucial possession, the inside 50 for the youngster in his 3rd VFL game.
And Nick Haynes leads all comers on the ground in terms of disposals with 15. Will Green does excellently in the ruck, just plucked it out of there one-handed and thumped it forward. There's Haynes again with the spoil, but the danger is not yet averted for GWS. Vickery, Lugsden. Lots of red and white inside 50, but he couldn't find one of them. Joe Fonte takes a really nice intercept mark. Braden Campbell protesting the length of that kick. Didn't think it had quite gone the 15. Fonte finds Haynes. He thumps it long, Nick Haynes. Connor Stone is the target in a one-on-one with Aaron Francis. The ball thumped out of play and will be thrown in front of the ladies' pavilion.
14 minutes into this second term. Swans leading by 4 points. Few hands on heads out there. Madden and Green dueling at the moment. The 2 young ruckmen. Neutral tap down. It was well read by McMullen, but he handed it straight to a Swan. Green has the kick just wide of Hamling. So that'll be out in the full. And the Giants will bring it in. Dirksen. Bit of indecision, puts himself under pressure. Handballs in the end to Fonte. He goes over the top in the Halloran direction. Stone might make it look a bit better than it was, although got rid of one. The second tackler, Francis, made it stick. And a free kick goes the way of the Swans.
So chance here for Sydney. 15 minutes gone in this second quarter. Just the 4 points the difference. Francis thumps it long. Joel Hamling is the target. A couple of normally key defenders combining, but Hamling being thrown forward is a forward target. Kicked a goal in the first quarter, Joel Hamling, and we had a look at the record books at quarter time. 0 goals in his AFL career. 91 AFL games to his name. 0 goals. I'm not sure if he's got any state league goals, but he did it nicely in front of goal. They keep it simple, the defenders, when they have a shot. Here's McAndrew going for Hamling in the one-on-one, and Hamling has taken the mark. Joel Hamling, he's inspired in the forward 50.
How about that? Surely he got one for Peel when he was there at Fremantle. Really interesting play, throwing him forward. So, calling these VFL games this year, Francis has been the one who swung forward a couple of times, but it's Hamling at the moment.
No, Joel Hamling from the tightest possible angle. That kick not quite got enough on it, and 2 big fists from Nick Madden sees it across the line for a minor score.
As we've mentioned a couple of times, Tom McCartan will be out for at least 1, maybe longer. You'd think it would be between Hamling and Francis. Francis with 12 touches today. Hamling with a goal. Interesting little battle. And that is a poor kick from the Giants out of defensive 50. Edwards, maybe the third to be involved in that conversation to replace McCartan. He took the intercept mark. Kicks to a pack. Crumbing really well. I think it was Edwards. Ball goes out of bounds. Right forward pocket. Swans lead by 5. 17 minutes into the second term. Dangerous little period here for the Giants. Have a look at Constanti and Parker and Campbell for the Swans. Madden out of the ruck, takes it himself. His kick is right into the danger zone. It's still inside 50. First there was Smith. The ball is wrestled away from him, and Edwards advances to the footy. If he didn't take the mark, he was certainly impinged, and he gets the free kick in the centre square.
Giants runner just had to helter-skelter it out of danger there. Was almost got crunched, the GWS runner. Inside 50 from Will Edwards, that thumping kick that he's got. Hamling was the target, a huge pack of players. On the ground for the Swans, Shipley keeps it in the field of play. Hand pass backwards looking for Smith, was not a good one, but Shipley will get another crack. Edwards, Shipley, a third possession in this chain. Thumps it high for Jack Buller. Aaliyah was there, it almost fell in Buller's lap. The Giants see it safely through for a minor score.
So 5-6 plays 4-7. 5 is the difference. Haynes out of the goal square, gets it to about 80 metres. It's over the back of the contest. Swans will have numbers. It's with Snell. His up and under was not the intended kick, and Haynes takes a diving mark between wing and half back. Wants to go through the middle of the ground. Has the option if he wants it. Takes it to Fonte. Switches on. They go wide. Dirksen has a space to have a run, assess his options. Best position is Aaron Francis for the Swans. Takes the intercept mark. And another GWS attack foiled by those Swans defenders.
And Max Kruzewski just flying from the back, but couldn't get hands to it. Nicely done by Aaron Francis. The Swans' key defenders having a good day thus far. Mitchell's kick is a perfect one.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Chiseled up the line for Sheldrick, and he's kicking another one, not quite as good. Looking for McAndrew, who wins the free kick for a push in the back. Nick Madden giving that one away. So McAndrew gives the hand pass quickly. Sheldrick is racking up the footy. Balks a couple, Angus Sheldrick, and then goes on the non-preferred right leg. And
oh, no.
I thought for a second the umpire might pay deliberate, but I think that was such a bad shank that the umpire knew what was going on. Maybe stick to the left foot kicks, Angus.
I don't think Sheldrick could believe it that he'd beaten 3 opponents who refused to tackle him there. Ball spun back in. It'll land on the paint. 50 metres out from the Swans' goal. Good tap from McAndrew. Toby McMullen wraps up his opponent immediately. It was Sheldrick. That is an intriguing battle. 20 minutes in to the second term. Swans lead. Parker and McAndrew there. And they might get a free kick, the Swans. McAndrew was lying on top of Rouston, who dragged it in. And they are given the free. McAndrew has 2 or 3 runners around him, Parker and Campbell. You'd think the instruction would be to give it to one of those two, but he keeps it in his hot little hands. And he's putting the mouthguard in the sock. We might see a shot at goal.
Oh, Braden Campbell's still lurking, though. He's still lurking.
It'll have to go all of 60 metres once it clears the goal line. Lachlan McAndrew kicks from just outside 50. Distance nowhere near it. Lands about 15 short. Constanti can't mark. Fay roved well. Giants will escape out of their D50. Harms picks up the loose footy. His handball misses the target. Tapped in the direction of Hamilton. He gets under the Edwards tackle, who did really well not to give away a free kick there. And they'll get the footy, the Swans. Magor hands to Parker, to Mitchell. Looks inside 50. One-on-ones inside the attacking arc. Hamling drops the mark. They still might be out of danger here, the Giants. And Lecalier, a high tackle. Free kick to the Swans. Lugsden will line up from 25 metres out.
James Lugsden already got a goal to his name today. 1 goal to go with 2 goals that he kicked last week against Box Hill.
James Lugsden on the 45-degree angle to make it a 2-goal game the Swans' direction. Starts it at the right post and just sneaks it in. He is becoming a handy little goal kicker for this Swans team. They lead 6-6-42 to 4-6-30.
The Swans taking advantage here at the Sydney Cricket Grounds. They're big stat leaders in the inside 50 count. 33 they lead. The Giants 17, so plus 16.
Yeah, wow, nearly double.
On the inside 50s. And the tackle count too, they are big leaders. They've got 33. The Giants just 16, so plus 17 on the tackle count. Perhaps with stats like that, you might expect more than a 12-point lead.
First multiple goal kicker of the night tonight. James Lugsden is Wolvie's teammates, no doubt, will be watching and cheering him on. There's 3 Manly Wolves out here. Justin? What's that smirk for?
Lachlan McAndrew, one of them, nice.
Yep. Willem Smith, another one.
So the people from the Northern Beaches love other people from the Northern Beaches. Braden Campbell has moved into the centre square for this ball up, so it looks like we'll have a secondary stoppage.
What was Braden's junior club? Was he Penno?
He was the Westbrook Bulldogs.
Was he?
I also played for.
Okay, well, come on, give him a shout-out.
Home of James Peatling for the Giants as well. Luke Parker getting involved here. O'Halloran tries to wrench it free, but he's caught, and that'll be holding the ball. A free kick to that man, Braden Campbell, who learned his tackling technique at a fine junior club. Thumps it up the line, Braden Campbell. Looking for Jack Buller in a one-on-one. Haynes did well enough to prevent him from taking the mark. Bartholomeus giving away the free kick. Will be going the way of Jackson Bone.
That was a bit clumsy from Bartholomeus there. Dived in at his opposite number. Giants down the line. Francis got a piece of it. Gothard first to react once it hit the deck. Evades a few Swans. Kicks it as long as he can. Didn't reach Harms. Campbell probably could have marked that. Spilt it over the boundary line between Wigan halfback, Swans defensive side of the half. They lead by 2 straight goals. 24 minutes. It's just ticked over into this second term. Big shove from Madden. Kick inside 50. Good one-on-one battle between Keefe and Edwards. It's not pretty. Couple of sockers off the deck from Mitchell and from Edwards. He follows up his work with a tackle. He's doing everything today, Edwards. The other Edwards for the Swans, Will, picks it up. Mobbed by 2 Giants, and eventually the umpire blows the whistle and will ball it up. 65 out from the Giants' attacking goal.
Nick Haynes leading disposal winner on the ground with 18. Angus Sheldrick the best of the Swans with 15. The Swans opted to take the advantage and gave it away. Fonte kicking inside 50, but Will Edwards is there to take the intercept mark. Now go all the way out the other side, the Swans. Francis could have gone again to the opposite pocket for Longmire. Opts against it. Instead, up the corridor he goes. Will Green ends up taking an uncontested mark, and that'll open things up nicely for the red and white. Wide kick for Lugsden. Could have given to Vickery with the hand pass. Hamling's inside forward 50. The kick goes in that direction, but a little deeper, looking for Buller. Hamling was there. Here's Vickery to have the shot on goal. More of a centre in the end. Still the chance there for Sydney. O'Halloran did well with Shipley closing to knock it over the boundary line for a throw-in. It's the Swans 12-point leaders, 25 and a half minutes gone in this second term.
Vickery had Luke Parker with the handball there who was calling for it. If there's one player on your team right now, if you're a Swan, that you'd hand it to, it is probably Luke Parker. The shot at goal wide. They'll get another go, though, right here, the Swans. Tap to the front. Cleary will be first there. Boundary line might beat him. Keeps it in. Nearly a high tackle. Fay and Cleary have a bit of push and shove. Campbell asks about that high. O'Halloran may be lucky to get away with that one.
So boundary throw in inside the Swans forward 50. Jack Buller doing the ruck work in the forward 50 for Sydney. Did it nicely there, went looking for Cleary, couldn't find him. The Giants clear the immediate danger. Shipley couldn't hold on to the mark. Angwin, he's taken in a tackle as the players converge on the footy. Edwards being pursued by Varigianis and O'Halloran. Umpires have picked out a free kick. It'll be coming back the way of the Swans.
I think that was Ben Edwards slung after he kicked it, so it'll be a downfield.
Angus Sheldrick will take the free kick for the Swans. A little too far out to score. Goes for a shorter option over the head of Bartholomeus. Taken by Bone. Outside of defensive 50. Here's Keefe. Taken in a tackle. Must have not had any prior opportunity. Ball trickles out of play and we'll have a throw-in.
Swans still with that 2-goal lead as we edge closer to half-time. How many for O'Halloran today? Just the 10 touches. He's kicked those 2 behinds, though. Hoping for a bit of a better output from him. Green, the young ruckman, takes it out of the contest to Bartholomeus. Well done by Rouston, who read it, knocked it down and took possession. But waiting for him is Edwards, who's been mopping up all day for the Swans in the back line, but his kick misses the target. And marking the footy was Williams. He has Fay, such a good user. Gives it to Haynes. Wide handball to Hamilton. Haynes was dealt with after the play, so a free kick downfield will go to Hamilton. Francis with a cheeky push on Hamilton there while he was already down on the ground. The most famous face at GWS, Cooper Hamilton, goes short to Haynes. And I don't think Nick, he will, he'll unload a barrel. Gets onto the top. It's wide, so there won't be a score to end half-time, which means the Swans will lead 42-30. Nick Haynes leading the possession getters. He's got 20. Sheldrick, the leading possession getter for the Swans, with 16. Round 6 of the Smithies VFL. Swans leading the Giants by 12 points. We'll be back with the second half.
Parker and Campbell. A couple of the AFL players combining for the Swans. Campbell's kick long and deep. Almost an intercept mark taken by Dirksen. Fay picked it up off the ground. His kick just eluded Shipley. Still the chance there for the Swans. Varigianis did well to intercept a hand pass. Haynes. Kick is smothered. Punched out of play nicely, and it'll be a boundary throw-in inside the Swans forward 50.
So they held a 2-goal lead at half-time, the Swans. Off the back of lost or lost their last 3 games, as opposed to the Giants, who have been 3 from 3 after that round 1 loss. Angwin, Rose, kicks out of the 50. Rouston out of midair, and it goes into row C. The Swans will bring it back in. Couple of kicks from goal. Will Edwards with the footy in his hand. Delivers deep. Buller versus Alir. Coming across to help was Dirksen. Short kick from the Giants, not escaping danger. Parker's handball missed the target. Still in dispute. 50 metres out from the Swans goal. It was ushered across the boundary line. Swans asking the question. Umpire will ball it in.
Luke Parker looking good in game number 2 after returning from that broken arm. 34 disposals last week, 13 disposals so far today. Boundary throw in. McAndrew and Madden had to do some work to get there. Here's Campbell again, had some early touches in this third quarter. Sheldrick could give back to Campbell, instead kicked himself. Constantinos sit under it. The little man almost took the big mark. Cleared effectively by the Giants and Ethan Williams. They'll be over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Now they can't get it out of the area of the Giants. Everything is rushed. It's a hack forward. By the same token, the Swans can't find a target inside 50. No score yet in the third term. McAndrew and Madden lock horns. Madden with the hit out. Straight down to one of his ruck rovers. Comes to O'Halloran. He taps it forward, but only as far as Campbell on his left. Oh, good little tap brave play because Hamling was steaming through and would have taken the mark. Giants again escape 50. Francis was first there, but his tap was well read by Grzyzewski. He kicks it inboard. Good one-on-one win from Campbell. Mitchell's there getting the hard ball, but a great follow-up tackle. That was McMullen. Dragged him into the turf, and we'll get the free kick. Kick it inside the centre square. Rouston with the whole 50 to work with. Delivers, and it just fell in the lap there of Varagianis. Couldn't take the grab. Harms goes short, appealing for the mark. That went less than 10. How has that been paid a mark? Stone, well, he doesn't care. He'll line up for goal. He'll kick from 35 metres out after receiving a kick that was kicked from 38 metres out.
Very generously applied 15 metres there from the umpire. Connor Stone will line up for goal. One of the VFL's hottest goal kickers at the moment, Connor Stone.
Pick 15 in the 2020 draft. He's played 9 times at AFL level. He's had a stellar start to season 2024 in the VFL, and he kicks his second of the night and drags it back to a 1-goal game.
So that is 13 goals in 5 games for Connor Stone. And he goes to equal second in the VFL goal-kicking list. Only Billy Gowers at Port Melbourne with 15 goals has more than him. Joe Richards from Collingwood and now Connor Stone with 13 are sitting in equal second. You would have got long odds at Connor Stone being a leading goal kicker earlier before the season, but he has made a swift transition to that forward line.
Well, we've talked about a couple of injuries for both teams in the main game today. Tom Green looks like he might be out with an ankle injury, but Callum Brown most likely won't be playing, and I wonder if Connor Stone gets that nod as that hybrid half forward. He's 190 centimetres. He clearly has the kicking boots on in 2024. Might be a shout for a game next week if Callum Brown is to visit the judiciary.
Great to see he's overcome some of those hamstring issues, Connor Stone. McAndrews hit out straight down to Parker and Sheldrick. Parker and Sheldrick combining is perhaps a future for the AFL for the Swans. Back, Ethan Williams for the Giants. Haynes, they're in a bit of danger here, GWS. Alir didn't get boot to ball. Buller. Cleary gets the kick towards goal, through for a near side. I guess, according to the umpire, Hamling just must not have been holding on to Alir when he failed to dispose of that ball.
They certainly got a bit lucky there, the Giants, to just concede a minor score. Swans lead by 7. 5.5 minutes played. Fay kicking out, gives that one way too much time. Lugsden did well on the much more experienced Haynes. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a throw in inside the Swans attacking 50. They lead by 7. McAndrew gets the tap down to Parker. He can't quite get clean possession. Out the back of the contest is Angwin. Good chase down, put a bit of pressure on his kick, and it meant that Snell got front position. Should have taken that grab. Spills an easy one over the boundary line.
Ryan Angwin, another one that's trying to push for AFL selection for the Giants. 16 AFL games to his name. None of those this year.
Yeah, he played 15 last year. He was really versatile for the Giants, but hasn't played in 2024 yet for them.
No, Stone, a couple of goals, wrapped up in a tackle by Angus Sheldrick. Sheldrick, of course, had an injury concern earlier this season, fractured his finger in the VFL practice match. 24 disposals against Box Hill last week and 30 against the Suns a couple of weeks ago. Campbell, umpires picked out a free kick behind play. It'll be going to Caden Cleary. In fact, the umpire's going to bring it back. It was Cleary's free kick, but it was downfield. So Braden Campbell is going to need to take the free kick for the Sydney Swans. A few tall targets in the forward line. Joel Hamling and Jack Buller among them. It's a deep, penetrating kick from Campbell. Hamling got at the back is Luke Parker. He loves a goal against the Giants, Luke Parker. Swans extend their lead again.
Parker was afforded so much space there. If the kick was further left, he could have almost marked by himself, but he had time off the back of the contest, and with this wet footy, it spilt that way. He was first there and made no mistake from point-blank range. They're up by 13.
Five-time Brett Kirk medalist Luke Parker holds the record for that particular medal, although Errol Goulden got his second today, and I think he'll challenge him at some point in his career. Three-time Bob Skilton medalist Luke Parker, and you think about the goals he kicked against GWS. I remember it's probably nearly 10 years ago now where he was falling over Luke Parker, and he still managed to get the boot to ball. Probably the best goal he ever kicked. Luke Parker was against the GWS Giants right here at the SCG to that very goal against the Giants. Luke Parker,
I reckon he had a game where he kicked 4 or 5 as well.
He did, yeah. He kicked 5 one day. One of his 5 Brett Kirk medals.
Back in the centre of the SCG. Swans lead by 13. It is a bit muddy. If you're watching from around Australia, it's rained all week here in Sydney, and there was a downpour during the AFL game. So that is why the ground is a little bit torn up. Free kick goes to Sheldrick. On his left, Haynes is in best position. That'll be 24 touches for Nick Haynes, coming off the back of 36 last week. He is putting his case forward to Adam Kingsley. Handball chain goes through Rouston, but his is errant. Edwards runs through. It comes to Green. Gets rid of one. Handball's wide. Inside 50, the kick goes deep. Hamling and Aaliyah. Front spot, though. Coming across was Constanti. He knew there was danger behind him. He didn't worry about it, and he'll kick for goal 25 metres out. That was brave.
And a great bit of body work by Joel Hamling, too, to keep Aaliyah out of that contest. Hamling would have been going for the mark himself, but then just at the last minute realised that Constanti was better placed for it and pulled out of it, allowing his teammate to take the mark.
Jacob Constanti, the 19-year-old. He's had bags of 2 and 3 already in 2024. And he can't make the most of that opportunity. Now behind, 14 is the lead. And they'll hope they don't rue that one. That was a pretty simple finish for Constanti after doing the hard work.
Would want to be making more of that finish, Jacob Constanti. Nick Haynes racks up another possession. Launches it long, but Will Edwards takes another excellent intercept mark. He's having a great game for the Swans in defence. Pumps it long. He's got a huge boot, Will Edwards. Hamling from the back, tried to fly high. Not often that he gets the opportunity to do that, Joel Hamling, taking advantage while he's inside the forward 50. Out of play for a boundary throw-in.
Another intercept mark for Will Edwards as well. Justin, what's your last name?
My last name is Edwards, but no relation to Will.
Okay, I don't believe it.
Or Ben, who is also out there for the Swans. No relation to either. Inside, the ball's thrown back in. Buller in the ruck. Couldn't win it this time. Williams cleared things for the Giants. Francis was in that play, but couldn't hold on to it. Now a chance through Varagianis for the Giants, although Stone's kick was not his best. Mitchell on the turnover. Gives to Ben Edwards. Looking for Buller, couldn't hold on to the mark. Nice defensive work done by Wade Dirksen. Here's Keefe. O'Halloran. Looking for Rouston, taps it forward, and that'll work nicely. Varagianis, rush. Laid in a strong tackle by Aaron Francis. That thwarted the Giants' offensive thrust immediately, and we'll have a ball up in the centre of the ground.
Yeah, it was untidy until there, but they did have the break, so a good tackle from the Swans there to lock this footy in the centre square. And that's where it is still at the moment. Lugston, Sheldrick and Keefe all do battle. O'Halloran as well. No one can extract. 11.5 minutes into the third quarter. Swans lead by 14. Well done by Magor there. Might come out the front of the contest for the Swans. It does for Green. On his right, once again, Aaliyah in a one-on-one with Hamling. Good bit of body. Umpire pays the free kick the way of Aaliyah. It's an intriguing battle. Hamling has been thrown forward. Hasn't kicked a goal at AFL level, but he's kicked one now in the VFL as Aaliyah hands off to Haynes.
Now Haynes racking up yet another disposal. That's a great intercept mark taken by Luke Parker. Played on quickly, and that was probably not the best decision. Rouston with the intercept mark after Parker's kick. Well, he was pressured, but he put himself under the pressure. Dirksen has got Hamilton beyond him, but drops the mark. Vickery couldn't find Constanti. Important ball to win this. The Giants got the numbers there and did it nicely. Bound. Francis. Got the intercept, Aaron Francis. Now the Swans are out. Lugsden gives to Campbell. He can kick the goal from 55. Braden Campbell, it's offline.
And that was lucky for Bound, who had Hamilton on the wing, decided to go inboard and handed it straight to a Swan. He copped a spray from Hamilton there, and that would not have looked good on review if the goal went through.
It's just a little chip from Braden Campbell, isn't it? 55 metres, but he just clears it with such ease.
Made it look so easy, you're right. Pick 5 from 2020, Braden Campbell. Played 7 games in the AFL so far this season, but has fallen out of the team with the squeeze taking place. Giants escape out the outer side. O'Halloran uses his strength to run away from the contest. Gothard evades a half tackle from Campbell. Probably should have done better there, Braden Campbell, who surprised Gothard from his blind side. The pick 12 from 2023, Phoenix Gothard has the free kick. He kicked his first VFL goal earlier on in this match and delivers inside 50. Big leap at the back. No mark. Francis mops up. And a short kick there to Smith, who marks for the Swans just outside their defensive 50.
Not a whole lot of options presenting for Smith. He goes wide for Vickery. Wade Dirksen's just patrolling as a loose here for the Giants. Campbell now. Pressured by Stone, but got the kick away. Couldn't find a target in his forward 50, though. Nick Madden drifting back to take that intercept mark after such a brilliant game he played last week, Nick Madden. 31 disposals for a ruckman, as well as a host of clearances and marks and tackles. He was the best player on the ground by far in the Giants' win over North Melbourne. Haynes with another disposal. Gave to Williams. Up the line. Hebron was the target and given away the free kick. So Sydney kick going the way of Will Edwards. Chipping ball over the head of Bartholomeus. Haynes couldn't pick it up on the first time of asking, just hacked it forward, and it'll work out for GWS. So Halloran streaming through the centre of the SCG, finds Gruzevski inside 50. That's a great kick from Xavier O'Halloran.
That was perfect. Experience paying off there. He ran through the middle of the ground and saw that all the space was behind Gruzevski, who ran onto it. Unlucky for Snell, the quick break working against him there.
And Max Gruzevski, one of the leading goal kickers for the Giants this year in the VFL.
He kicked 4 goals in round 3 against Sandringham.
And got 1 already today, Max Gruzevski. So that's 10 goals in a little over 4.5 games for Max Gruzevski. This would be for number 11. Directly in front. And he's kicked it. Max Gruzevski, he's a kid with a lot of talent. And the Giants get one just to arrest that flow a little bit. The Swans had all the momentum. The margin back to 9 points.
Yeah, Max Gruzevski came into the system at GWS having the ability to play both ends. They've got him up forward. It's a really positive move. Kicks his second of the day. And looking a likely target.
The last 4 scores of the game had been Sydney Swans scores. And you go back even further than that. 8 of the last 9 scores had been Swans scores. So but the 2, with Connor Stone's goal was in the middle of all that. And then Max Gruzevski gets another one. So even with all those scores, the Swans haven't taken their opportunities all that well. And they lead by just the 9 points.
Good tap from Madden again, but first to read it was Mitchell. Hands back to Magor. He dishes it off to Francis, who'll use his foot as he does so often. Finds Bartholomeus on the edge of the square. Running past him was Campbell. Great left foot delivery to the back. Lugsden off his... I think it might have been off his shin. Kelly and Lugsden both had space. One needed to mark that. Disappointing for the Swans. They had a solitary behind and so lead by 10.
I wonder if Will Green had have left that in the goal square, if it might have gone through. Such a big roost from Braden Campbell from the centre square. That's his big strength, that left foot, Braden Campbell. Rouston with it now for the Giants. He's racked up plenty of the footy today.
He's up to 19. Haynes is on 28 touches.
28 touches after 36 for Nick Haynes last week. Are we on for 40 for Nick Haynes? Short little chip there. Here's Fay. He's also got 40 disposals quite a few times in the VFL, Josh Fay. Gothard kept it in front of him and then got the hand pass out looking for his teammate. The Swans still do well enough to force the turnover. Longmire, Campbell, now Bartholomeus. Little chip for Sheldrick. Inside 50 they go. Will Green flies. Will Green and holds it. Great mark from the youngster Will Green up against Lecker Lear, the highest flyer in the AFL. Will Green still flew higher.
3 grabs it took him, but he kept his eye on the footy as he was hitting the ground, which is hard to do. Juggled it, and that is impressive from the youngster. He went pick 16 in the 2023 draft, the second highest rated ruck. They'll happily give him plenty of time when they see highlights like that.
Will Green, the very talented youngster. The under-18 All-Australian ruckman. Kicked a goal last week, Will Green. And he's clunked the post. Just missing a few chances here, the Swans. Constanti missed from a similar spot earlier in this quarter. 7 goals, 11 behinds now for the Swans. The Giants 6-6-42.
Giants having some trouble exiting back 50. Fay, his 18th touch. Delivers deep. Madden is the target, but cruising in front of him was Jack Buller for the Swans. The mid-season pickup from WA. He goes long. Running at the footy with Sheldrick. Staying down. Stone. Good tackle from Dirksen. We'll have a ball up in dangerous territory for the Giants here. They trail by 11.
And Madden and Buller go at it in the ruck. Parker was there for the Swans. Dangerous kick. Little soccer off the ground. Mitchell. Vickery was there. Eventually picks up the footy, Vickery. Bartholomeus just fell in his lap. A wobbly old ball to the top of the 50. Magor and Harms. Harms did well. Got the hand pass to his teammate in Quigg. Edwards just spilled the mark, and now there's a chance for the Giants. Hebron, 1-on-1 inside 50 with Francis. He judged it well, Ryan Hebron. Running back with it like Steve Waugh running back to take that catch at the SCG all those years ago, and Hebron will line up for goal.
Hebron, compared to Steve Waugh, quite a bit, I reckon, throughout his life.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Steve Waugh, a big GWS fan.
He is,
so might be keeping an eye on this game. Hebron coming through the Swan system. Has a chance to cut the lead to single digits.
Ryan Hebron, not his best effort, misses to the near side. So it's the Giants 6-7-43. 10 points. They trail the Swans 7-11-53.
Will Edwards has the opportunity to go down the Peter Siddle, and he does. But it is a really good mark. Dirksen, waste no time. Straight back into the attacking 50. Great rove at the front. Harms, flowing mullet on his right. Just falls short. It did bounce back into play. Would have been something over the top from Varagianis.
That was very impressive, Varagianis. If that ball had been in play, that's the goal of the year.
Yeah, if that rule was changed, we would have seen that on some highlights reels. But it is a minor score. 53 plays 44.
The Swans in front of the members' pavilion here at the SCG. Kelly goes short to Bartholomeus, the late inclusion Bartholomeus. Peter Laddams, the laid out for the Swans. Happy to go slowly for the moment, Sydney. Dangerous kick. Madden flew high over the top of Francis, but couldn't hold the mark. Now the Swans can go quickly. Sheldrick's hand pass went looking for Parker. Couldn't quite find him. And now the Giants forced the turnover. Madden. Haynes' kick perhaps went into the foot of Will Green and out on the full, but the umpire says it'll be a boundary throw-in.
Did look like that, didn't it, though? One of those unlucky out in the fulls, but some leniency applied from the umpires. Between wing and half forward for the Swans. Green just got around Madden, tapped it down. First there, Shipley. Little chip. Ship with the chip. 60 metres out. All on his own is Sheldrick. He'll take the easy mark. He was collected afterwards. Umpire says it was all right. It was in the contest. So Sheldrick will line up from just inside 50.
Angus Sheldrick racks up the footy at VFL level, and he won't be too far away from a return to the AFL. Played 9 AFL games in his couple of seasons in the AFL. That big contested ball winner.
This might test his left foot from 49 metres. Distance is fine, but in going for the length, has pulled it. Minus score, 10 points the difference.
Just missing some chances here, Sydney. They've had a lot of opportunities from the set shot this quarter. Been unable to really capitalise, and it's keeping the Giants in the game. Just 10 points the margin. Haynes' kick asked a little bit of Fonte. He did it nicely out to get the hand pass out. But in the grand scheme of things, the stoppage inside your defensive 50 from a kick out is not a good result.
No, and it came off the experience boot of Haynes, as you said, who is up to 30 disposals. Madden with the tap. Hamilton's there for the Giants, but he spills it. Parker is cleaner. Goes back to Magor. Chips it to Cleary. Hands to Parker from 49 metres. He's already kicked one today, and he hits the woodwork. A string of behinds for the Swans here at 7-13-56. Plays 6-8-44.
Luke Parker, that would have been perhaps the best goal we've seen so far today. Haynes goes with the big barrel, tumbles it out of defensive 50, and it works out nicely. Got a great piece of it. Bartholomeus with the hand pass for Campbell. He's racked up plenty of the footy this third quarter, Braden Campbell. And now Ben Edwards streaming through the centre of the SCG. Gives to Caleb Mitchell. He loads up from outside 50, and they've nailed that one. Caleb Mitchell kicks the goal for the Swans, and they extend their margin back out towards the 3-goal mark. It's the Swans 8-13-61, the Giants 6-8-44.
A quietish day for Mitchell by his standards. Only the 15 touches, but a goal that the Swans really needed here. And they seem to be finding the footy on the ground. They're sort of a class above when Campbell is in around the contest. And he was one of those Swans players there who managed to turn it over. They moved it quick. That was a really sublime finish.
Yeah, terrific finish from Caleb Mitchell, one of those players that got a little taste of AFL level. Played rounds 3 and round 4 this year. Played against Richmond at the MCG, the Swans' only loss of the year, and then went out to the Adelaide Hills to play against West Coast in Gather Round. Pick 40 in the 2022 draft, and maybe perhaps pressing his case for an AFL recall.
So they lead by 17 points. Madden slipped over, and I don't think McAndrew realised because he tapped it straight down. Parker's made it work. Swings around on his right. Towards the attacking 50. Cleary gets the hard footy. Shipley inside 50. Hamling spills a mark. He had a lot of it. Dishes it off to Constanti. He spilt the footy. Ben Edwards. They're 20 metres out from goal. His kick is wayward, and the Giants will escape through McMullen. He finds Connor Stone 60 metres out from his own goal. Risky kick into the middle of the ground. It went over the top of Haynes. It's a turnover. Braden Campbell's there, but they get a relieving free kick. That was lucky.
So Nick Quigg to take the free kick for the Giants. 26 minutes gone in this third quarter. Goes wide for Bound. There he goes long. That's a perfect kick, just fell in the lap of McMullen, but he spilled it. Perhaps Enderman got a little touch on it just in front. The mark spilled, and that'll be a boundary throw-in at the top of the 50-metre arc. Sydney Swans 17-point leaders. Madden and McAndrew in the ruck. McAndrew got two hands to it. Angwin. That'll be touched, won't be paid the mark. Kelly's running back for the Swans, bounced off his shoulder. Rush. Found Stone. Managed to slip the tackle and gave it back to Rush. From the tight angle rush for Keefe. Just couldn't hold on to the mark, Lockie Keefe, and we'll have a stoppage inside the Giants' forward 50.
And if the Giants can get a goal here, that would really frustrate the Swans players and coaches. They've had so many opportunities this quarter, The Giants have gone down a couple of times, and if they kick a goal here, they'll cut the lead back again. It is a great tap, though, from McAndrew. You can hear the umpire's whistle. It'll be downfield. Or it might come all the way back. The Giants player has kicked it back to where the free kick was paid, but it is downfield in the end. Buller with the footy in his hands, inside the centre square. Depth is the aim of the game. Hamling was blocked out pretty obviously, but the umpire says it wasn't illegal. So a mark to Nick Haynes, who goes another barrel. That's his third of the day. It is Torpedo Town for Nick Haynes here at the SCG. Won't work out for the Giants as the ball makes its way over the boundary line. He's feeling the barrel at the moment. He had one after the siren almost as a why not, but he's kicked 2 out of defensive 50 and he's getting onto them.
Up to 31 disposals is Nick Haynes here at the SCG. Ball thrown back in. McAndrew and Madden do battle once more. Stone couldn't hold on to it. Nice tackle made by Ben Edwards, and we'll have a stoppage.
Parker stepping up as well. He's now 22 and a goal. So he's second on the possession list, which is 9 behind Haynes.
And here he is again, Luke Parker. Fended off the tackle and got the kick inside 50 to Joel Hamling. Excellent play from Luke Parker to set that one up, and Joel Hamling is going to have another shot at goal.
He's got a bit of separation on his opponent, Dirksen. As we've mentioned a couple of times, really interesting seeing Hamling go forward. Potentially a call from the top. Maybe Longmire wants to see if Hamling is to come into this one side, what he can do.
Joel Hamling keeps it nice and simple on the way in. Joel Hamling! Oh, play him forward forever, Joel Hamling. He's got 2 goals. The Swans extend their lead out to 23 points. 9-13-67, the Giants. 6-8-44.
I doubt when they were doing negotiations in the off-season to bring Joel Hamling to Sydney, whether time spent up forward was in the conversation. At his 4th AFL club, he's only played 6 AFL games the last 4 years. Adding another string to his bow tonight with a couple of majors.
How much time do you reckon he's spent in the pre-season training with the forward group?
Probably the whole time, but he's been against them.
Yes, he's been defending the forward group a lot.
He's been learning off the likes of McDonald, McLean, Armadi.
He's probably standing up there going, what are you forwards complaining about all the time? This is so easy. Just kick goals.
Dobbing them from the boundary. Catch and kick. Swans hold a 23-point lead. They've stretched it out this third quarter and they've made the most of it. A throw there paid against Angus Sheldrick. So Harry Rowson to try get one back from the Giants as numbers spread forward. Goes as long as possible. Big spoil from the back. Madden's there, as is Cleary. His handball misses the target. Hamilton picks it up for the Swans. Maybe in his back. I think it was. Bit clumsy from Edwards there. Cooper Hamilton with the free kick. If he wants to shoot for goal, it'll be outside 50. He hands it off to Ralston. His head goes up. Could have had the shot after the siren. Instead, it is three-quarter time. The Swans 9-13-67. Lead the Giants 6-8-44. A great quarter for the Swans. We'll be back with the final quarter after a short break here. Round 6, Smithy's VFL, the Swans and the Giants at the SCG. In that third quarter.
Nick Haynes leads all comers with 31 disposals. Luke Parker's worked his way up to the top of the disposal sheet for the Swans with 23 and a goal. Angus Sheldrick also with 23.
So the youngster Green for the Swans against Madden. Madden with the tap. Free kick goes the way of Halloran, who nearly slips in the centre circle. It is a bit muddy. It does affect his kick. A little bit shorter than hoped. Edwards in good position, as is Kelly. No mark. Snell was wrapped up immediately. Good strong tackle from Hamilton. Ball up inside the Swans' defensive half. Early goal from the Giants would make this interesting. Massive spike from Madden. Gets it to within 5 metres of the goal. You are kidding! Harms out of midair. That was a ripper.
What an amazing goal. That was volleyball from Nick Madden and then soccer from Matt Harms. Just the volley off a couple of streaming through, perfectly timed. What an extraordinary goal from the Giants to get themselves back in this contest.
Matt Harms, he kicked 3 goals in round 1. He's had a goal in every other game, but no goal will be better than that, I reckon, for the rest of the year for Matt Harms. He was on, well, a fairly tight angle. The volley on the right foot. One of those goals where you wish the crowd was full. He ran straight towards the boundary line, almost as if he was going to do a James Hird embrace.
That's a Smithy snag for sure. That'll get in the top 6 goals of the week. Green and Madden once again in the ruck. Madden got the assist for the previous goal and now thumps the Giants inside 50. Edwards is there to pick it off. Tapped it into the path of Mitchell. Angwin couldn't quite hold on, so Edwards went back for it again. Here's the goal kicker, Harms. Hand pass went looking for Connor Stone. Manages to keep it in the field of play, Stone. Angwin kick towards the centre of the goal, but it'll work out for Sydney. Parker puts Constanti under a little bit of pressure, but Constanti did it really well. Parker's kick smothered, though. O'Halloran can give to Josh Fay. Well, on his left, ended up going on his right, Josh Fay. And it's intercepted nicely by Patrick Snell.
Wow, that was well done from Constanti. He was put under all sorts of pressure by Parker, but he had the poise to wait and give it back to him. Meanwhile, Kelly is limping in back play for the Swans. We'll keep an eye on that as they exit D50 up the wing. Madden into Constanti. That is a mismatch. Throws his weight around. Eventually, holding the ball is paid. Giants take advantage. It mightn't work out that way, though. O'Halloran couldn't pick up the slippery footy. Parker does. Kicks it forward to a one-on-one. Best position were the Giants, but a bit of a miss kick, so it gives Buller a chance, who kicks off the ground up into the attacking end. And the umpire says, free kick to the Giants. On a wet day, you think they might be a bit more lenient. Nick Haynes mopping up today. 32 touches for him as he kicks down the line.
Will Kelly has made his way to the bench, limping his way there. O'Halloran looking for Varagianis. Tried the little tap on for Harms. It ends up ricocheting and falling in the lap of Parker. Magor's kick. Shipley. Edwards. Parker again. Green. Just missed Parker. Harms tried the soccer again. This one far less successful. Vickery inside 50. 2-on-1. Ali was there. Constanti did well to bring it to ground, but Dirksen and now Haynes mop things up for the Giants. Kick up the line for Rouston is a good one. Got some players on the wing, Harry Rouston. Just a little slow to his feet. Here's Hamilton. In some space, and McMullen is over the top. And the Giants get it to 60 metres out from goal. The next kick is crucial, and it's a perfect one. Expertly placed for Connor Stone, who is having a terrific game in a terrific VFL season, Connor Stone.
You mentioned perfectly placed. It got over the top of the 204-centimetre ruckman Will Green and landed only 2 metres beyond him, but in the lap of Stone.
So Connor Stone making his case to potentially replace Callum Brown in the AFL side if Brown cops a suspension. Stone's kick is through. He's got his third of the afternoon, and the Giants are storming back into it. The margin under 2 goals.
Yeah, they've kicked the first 2 goals within 5 minutes of this fourth quarter. A dream start, 11 points the difference. It looked like Sydney had it iced. They should have really been further ahead at three-quarter time, and they're being made to pay for it now. A close game here, round 6, Smithy's VFL action. We have got a ripping last quarter on our hands. And Connor Stone, that is third goal of the day, it was.
The third goal of the day, 14th goal of the season, and the 4th time that he's kicked 3 goals in a game. He's absolutely making a case to be in the AFL side from next week, Connor Stone, and go moves to second in the entire VFL goal kickers list.
So it's getting hot here in the middle, and Parker is getting a fair bit off it. He's got 28 touches, trying to lead his Swans over the line. He was served it up on a silver platter just then. Couldn't get clean possession. Mopping up at the back was Enderman. And he finds Bartholomeus on the paint. Short kick is Well, it would have been the easy option if it was to Vickery's advantage. Chopped off by the Giants. So they spill an easy one here. An unforced error from the Swans. Umpire circles, will ball it up.
So the Giants, with the first 2 goals of this final term, really making a fist of things here at the SCG. Perhaps the Swans will rue them costly goal kicking in that third quarter as Luke Parker takes it across the boundary line. He's looked good today, Luke Parker. 23 disposals. In fact, he had at three-quarter time, already up to 28. And the goal, 17 of those disposals kicks and 3 tackles as well to go with it.
Madden gets rid of McAndrew, tries the spike again. It goes over the back this time. Ralston from 49. Giants have 3 on the trot. And this game is hot. Madden to Ralston, goes bang. And it's a 5-point ball game.
I'm sure Damien Truslove and the Sydney Swans coaches will be wondering how on earth Harry Ralston was all on his own at the back of that stoppage. The ball just trickled out the back and he was all on his own, had time and space to poise and kick the goal. Harry Ralston.
Wasn't even the intended target as well. It looked like a miss hit from Madden. He was trying to spike it forward again like that last ripper goal that we saw from Harms. It made its way to Ralston though. Step on maybe 2 and boomed it home.
Luke Parker is not getting any sort of early rest. He's back in the centre circle again. It does look like Aaron Francis is finished for the day. The Swans probably as a precaution just taking him off, with Tom McCartan set to miss at least 1 week in the AFL side. So here's Madden, plucks it out of the ruck. Here come the Giants. Long kick forward, looking for Keefe. Just spilled loose from Varagianis. And the Swans do it well through Snell. Sheldrick has just bumped off it. O'Halloran won the free kick. And there's a big chance here for GWS. All of a sudden, another goal and they're in the lead. O'Halloran.
Angwin's free in the pocket if he finds him.
Doesn't want to go there at this stage. He wants something. In fact, he did go in the direction of Angwin. Almost fell for Varagianis. He can have another go, Varagianis, as the Swans try to close. Here's Gothard, wrapped up in a nice tackle. And the umpire will ball it up in the GWS forward pocket. 8 minutes gone in this final term. 5 points the margin.
Tap towards the danger zone. Edwards picks it up for the Swans. He's buried into the turf. And they get the free. The Giants will kick for the lead. It was Xavier O'Halloran who applied a robust tackle on Ben Edwards.
So in the 8 minutes since three-quarter time, Sydney have not scored a single point. The Giants, 3 straight goals.
O'Halloran. He's kicked much harder goals in his life before. This one from just 25 metres. Over the umpire's hat. Giants have 4 in a row in the final quarter. They lead by a point.
And Xavier O'Halloran drops this week, and that's a fair way to respond. Kicking the goal that puts your team ahead in the final quarter. And he definitely will be making a case for a recall, with Tom Green being injured in the AFL game for the Giants.
So he's got 19 touches and 2 goals too. 4 tackles. That was the key stat just then. Ben Edwards won the hard footy. Only took a couple of steps, but they rewarded O'Halloran. Made way this week, as he said, for the skipper, Toby Green. He can't bemoan that, but he's doing all he can to get straight back in the side. 1 point ball game here at the SCG.
So the Giants in front for the first time in a long time. Here's Sheldrick. Oh, that was a dangerous tackle. In fact, he was holding the ball. Holding the ball, I thought for sure, and Angus Sheldrick is for sure, thought he was getting the free kick. Instead, it goes the way of Keefe. Just got over the head of Ralston. Vickery and Campbell combine off halfback for the Swans. A couple of left footers. Here's Hamling. Couldn't hold on to the mark. Hebron for the Giants. Now Keefe. Looking for McMullen in the centre of the ground. McAndrew came over the top. Cleary. Anderman. Now Bartholomeus. Little left footer is a good one for Lugsden. Now the chance for Sydney. Streaming through the centre of the ground was Sheldrick. The hand pass wasn't great, just made him to do a little bit of work. Sheldrick still goes again. Cleary now. And Ben Edwards. Nice tackle from Connor Stone. Sheldrick. And another good tackle from O'Halloran. Kick for Gruzevski. Snell does well, and if it stays in the field of play, the Swans will be able to counter-attack. Here's Mitchell. Buller is inside the forward 50 for the Swans, as is Hamling. Deep kick. Luke Parker could have flown from the side, instead opted to leave it to Buller. The Giants do it nicely for the moment. Clear defensive 50. Nice mark taken by Angus Sheldrick, and the Swans will go back in again.
They trail by one at the moment. Sheldrick, footy in hand. Chip to the pocket. Just overrunning it was Hamling. Might have got a nudge in the back. The footy went out of bounds. And we'll have a ball in. 11.5 minutes into this last term. A fiery finale to this VFL clash. Keefe and Bullard do the ruck work. Lugston with the rove. What a goal from the youngster. He has 3 today. Ripped it out of that contest. Making a name for himself in red and white. James Lugston wrestles back the lead for the Swans. It's 10-13, 73 to 10-8, 66.
That's magnificent play from James Lugston. He joins Connor Stone as the only players on the ground with 3 goals. Joel Hamling and Max Gruzevski, the other multiple goal kickers, with 2 each. James Lugston is proving that he belongs at VFL level. And Sydney retake the lead again, 10-13, 73. 5-point leaders over the Giants, 10-8, 68.
Bursting through that contest. A move that you would expect from an experienced player, someone who is backed to just run at the footy and attack and attack and attack. And Lugston did it well there.
Let's not forget, the last VFL game at the SCG was as close as they come. It was a draw. The Swans and the Suns 2 weeks ago. Now 5 points the margin. The draw definitely not off the table here. The ball just eludes Parker. Campbell's best place for the Swans. He taps it back for Parker. And his left foot kick. Here's Lugston, the goal kicker, with 3 to his name. Shrugged off a tackle and got the hand pass away. An unusual kick off the ground, off the half volley from Ethan Williams towards the boundary line, but it stayed in the field of play. Mitchell, that's a safe and composed kick for Braden Campbell, who was not composed underneath it. Spilled the mark, but it works out okay. Here's Lugston again. He's everywhere at the moment, James Lugston. Looks inside 50. Jack Buller and Joel Hamling are the tall targets. Goes looking for Buller. Takes the mark, Jack Buller. And in front of the members' pavilion at the SCG, he can have a shot to extend the Swans' lead.
Really difficult shot for Buller, but absolutely within his right to go back, take some time out of the game. They lead by 5. Even a point at this stage starts becoming handy. He's going to kick from where the boundary line meets the 50. This would be enormous.
Jack Buller does not yet have a goal to his name this evening. His kick will fall short. Alier and Dirksen were among the Giants to fly. Fonte sees it across the boundary line for a throw-in, so the opportunity is still there for Sydney.
Haynes with 33, Parker with 29 and a goal. We're inside the Swans attacking arc. They lead by 5. They got a stoppage goal just a few minutes ago. What can they do here? It's Buller v Madden. Madden taps over the back of the contest, out of midair. Fay clears it. It'll come back in though. Well read by Enderman. Long roost. Huge pack of players. Madden with the spoil. Parker's at the fall of footy, as is Constanti. But first there was Dirksen. His handball misses. Mitchell for the Swans goes back. Bartholomeus. Jinx right on his left now. Inside 50, going back. Constanti nearly grabs it. Still in dispute in the forward pocket. Swans lead by 5. Final quarter. Madden picks it up. He's tackled immediately. Hot footy to be won. 15 minutes into this last term. Swans 73, lead Giants 68.
Madden just thumps it forward. That's a hit out as good as a kick. Rouston soccers off the ground. Harm's the first one to pick it up in the chain. He goes long. Snell with the one hand almost held on to the mark. Did it well, Patrick Snell, to keep Gruzevski off it. Now he gets some support from his teammates, and the Giants' numbers flood the contest too. Really nice defensive work there from Patrick Snell, the former Brisbane Lions Academy member, looking at home in the Swans defensive 50. So the umpire throws the ball up again. McAndrew got it down. Campbell and now Parker. Those two have combined a lot in the midfield today. Green. That could be an important mark from Will Green.
That's a huge mark.
Plays on quickly, Will Green. For Mitchell. Sheldrick's going to come off the interchange bench to be an option. Just waits on it, Mitchell. With no one on the mark, he's allowed to take his time and eventually does go that short option to Angus Sheldrick. Racking up a heap of the footy today. Cleary it is. Long looking for Hamling. Couldn't hold on to that mark. Here's Lugsden. Campbell tried to spin out a one. Spilled back for Gothard. Around the body, tried to hack something. And Bartholomeus and Hamilton see it over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Again, really impressed with Lugsden. He ran at the footy there. He charged at it, wanted it more, and dished it off to Sheldrick. It is a wet footy, so there's been some untidy skills, but the Swans at the moment have the field advantage. They have the territory. They didn't make GWS pay for that in the third quarter. At the moment, a tight game. Sheldrick on his left, screws one inside 50. Clean pickup was good from Constanti, but he got turned in the tackle and missed his target. So the Giants clear. Certainly not out of danger, though, with numbers for the Swans. Mitchell picks up. Back to Enderman. Little chip kick in between Campbell and Mitchell. They appeal for out on the full. It'll be a ball in. Next to the interchange bench. 17 minutes, 45 on the clock. Swans lead by 5.
And Madden and McAndrew in the ruck once again. Luke Parker is at this stoppage and he's got no one standing next to him just for the moment still. Parker is unmarked. Madden thumps it forward. Hamilton could only knock it down. Mitchell and now Parker again. Kicks in the direction of Constanti, but Angwin drifts back to take the intercept mark. A chance for the Giants now. They're 5 points down. Haynes, who's got so much of the footy in the last 2 weeks. He'd be up to 70 touches in the last 2 weeks combined. Here's O'Halloran. Just happy to go slowly for the moment, GWS. Hand pass back for Haynes to get another disposal. Long kick. Gruzevski was the target. Edwards did well for the Swans, but his kick only as far as O'Halloran. So they can go again here, GWS. Xavier O'Halloran kicks the Giants' most recent goal. Fay wanted it short. O'Halloran goes long instead. Madden is there. His front position couldn't hold the mark. Enderman taken in a tackle by Harms, and we'll have a boundary throw in right at the top of the goal square for GWS. They trail by 5 points, 19 minutes gone in this final term.
Madden out of the ruck, grabs it this time. Well tackled by McAndrew. He was just sniffing a goal, Madden. Might try to do it again here. They'll have to keep a close eye on him. He's been dominant in the ruck today, Nick Madden, following up from brilliant performance last week. Right forward pocket for the Giants. Madden again out of the ruck. Ball comes loose. Huge pack of players around the footy. Umpire hovered, waited, blew the whistle, and will ball it up again. 5 points still the margin. The Giants took the lead before the Swans bounced straight back. Will we see another lead change in this final quarter? 2 already. Swans win the contested footy. Go down the line towards Hamling in unfamiliar territory. Good tackle on O'Halloran. So the Swans break through Sheldrick. 1-on-2 though in favour of the Giants. Haynes to clean up. Ball comes loose. Good tackle from Constanti. Evening the numbers. Green stretches out, makes a crucial tackle. Constanti's there. No one can pick up the footy. It's wet. It's slippery. Who's going to get clean hands? Umpire pays a free kick to the Giants, and Lecalier still down in back play.
Yeah, just got a head knock in that last play as the ball is up on the wing. Edwards tackled by Rush. We'll have a ball in. Lecalier looks to be okay. He's going to continue, it seems. It's to be the neck rather than the head is to be his concern. Madden tapped it straight down to Cleary. Here's Edwards. Now Lecalier will get a test in a one-on-one with Hamling. Dirksen will come and help, not before Hamling gets the kick away. Constanti, that's tapped through. If that goes through for a behind, it would have... Oh, it is deliberate. It's deliberate. So Joel Hamling, it looks like, will get to line up for his third.
Well, it was definitely there. He palmed it from about 12 metres out, straight towards the boundary line, as he called. If it went through for a behind, it would have been deliberate, and the umpire pays it deliberate out of bounds.
So Hamling on the left. Joel Hamling! Oh, he's a new man in the forward line, Joel Hamling.
This is wild, isn't it?
I don't reckon he's ever done a left foot snap like that at a shot on goal in his life. In training, in a game, anywhere.
Well, he certainly didn't look like it. It was a floater on the left foot. It wasn't a sort of beautiful curling snap. Joel Hamling, you do your research throughout the week. You watch some VFL. Not for a moment would we have considered, would anyone watching, I think even Joel Hamling's family wouldn't have thought he might kick 3 goals today.
He's got 3 goals from 8 disposals, Joel Hamling. 6 kicks, couple of handballs, 3 marks in there. It's been extraordinary from Joel Hamling. He started in defence. It was late in that first quarter that Damien Truslove, the Swans coach, threw him forward, perhaps with Pete Laddams, the laid out, being one of the reasons. But it has worked wonders for the Sydney Swans. They lead by 11 points.
Ball slammed into the turf. McAndrew takes it out of the ruck. Parker's in there doing the dirty stuff. He's done it all day. His kick is smothered, though. Giants escape the contest. O'Halloran to Angwin. Deep kick. Good bit of body work. Umpire will pay the free kick, though, to the Swans. Just as Harms was running into an open goal, that bit of body work was a little bit too aggressive. Swans with the free kick in their defensive 50.
Cooper Vickery will take the kick. He's been good off half-back for the Swans thus far. I've got that beautiful left foot on him. Big fly. Dirksen couldn't hold the mark. Lays a nice tackle. Now, did the Swans player drag this in? He did, according to the umpire. So Dirksen takes the free kick. Rouston. Need a couple of goals here, the Giants. 23.5 minutes gone. Long kick to the pocket. Gruzevsky is the tall target. He flies. Snell with an important fist punches it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
It's been a really good battle today. Snell and Gruzevsky. Swans lead by 11. Nearly 24 minutes elapsed. Giants have the territory right now. Can Madden find one of his rovers? Taps to the front. Parker overruns it, gets it on second go, back to Magor. Big Gary Owen. Drops almost where it was kicked from. One-on-one, Angwin and Sheldrick lock horns. 11 points, still the margin. Ball's thrown up immediately. Quick hands from Shipley to Parker to Sheldrick, who didn't get rid of it legally. Connor Stone, the tackler, rewarded. He has the Sharon, 60 metres out from goal. The Giants need a major ASAP. Kicks to the pocket. Madden's the tall. Snell comes over the top. Spoils. Footy goes over the back of the contest. Clearing kick. Stone flies. Buller was there for the crumb. He turns on his right. Giants have numbers and a mark from Haynes. They'll bring it straight back in.
A nice intercept mark from Haynes. O'Halloran. Haynes and O'Halloran, 2 of the leading ball winners for the Giants today.
Haynes 36th just then.
Haynes into the pocket. Madden goes to ground. McAndrew went through his hands. Here's McMullen. Evades a couple of tackles, but his kick was smothered. Still the chances there for GWS. Harms couldn't get boot to ball. Wrapped up by Bartholomew straight away. Be a ball up at the top of the goal square for the GWS Giants. 11 points the difference. They trail. They will want a goal from this entry, the Giants. A free kick's been picked out, going the way of Sydney.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a Giants free kick from the non-officiating umpire, non-controlling umpire. It goes the way of the Swans. 26 minutes elapsed. They lead by 11. And they'll kick towards the boundary line. Mitchell in great position. Has a sit on Hamilton. Drops the mark. Bit of a fend off. Touched kick up the line. Fontes wrapped up by Campbell. Hands back to Haynes. He wastes no time. Inside 50 for the Giants. Diving on top of the footy there was Enderman. It spills wide for O'Halloran. Kicks across the face and a mark in the pocket. They'll waste no time here. The Giants, they trail by 11.
The rain just starting to fall here at the SCG. Might affect Max Gruzevski's kick.
So he's got the tight angle. He got rid of Snell. He took the mark to make it a one-goal game. Gruzevski annoyed at himself. Near side, minor score. And the difference is 10. Rain coming down here at the SCG.
Sense that might have needed to go in for the Giants. So Will Edwards has got a huge roost on him and thumps it up towards the wing. Goes over the back of everybody. Shipley in a contest there. Sheldrick arrives along with O'Halloran. Tapped out to the front of the stoppage. It looks like Constanti's just cramped up in front of this stoppage. The GWS free kick here as Constanti receives treatment for a cramp right in front of it. Rouston to the top of the goal square. Who are the tall targets? Gruzevski again. Snell. Terrific defensive work to get the body in and take the intercept mark.
Yeah, that was really strong by Snell, who just lost a one-on-one about a minute ago to Gruzevski. Crucial mini victory there for Snell. I think Gruzevski's cramping as well. The rain is coming down heavier at the moment. That'll favour the Swans, who lead by 10. 28 minutes have elapsed in this final term. It is teeming down. This will be a hard footy to win. Tap from Madden. Cleary with the tackle. Ball spills loose. Giants get a kick inside 50, but it will go out of bounds on the full. And Bartholomew will take the free kick. It is raining so hard, it is almost hard to see across the other side of the ground at the moment. This is what it was like in the second quarter in the Swans-Giants game in the AFL.
And like the AFL game, we've barely had any rain at all in this VFL game. Just a 5-minute deluge, which was the same as the AFL. Bartholomew' kick up the line. It's always going to be a tough mark in these conditions. And McAndrew very happy to spoil that one across the line. Almost an uncontested spoil that. The Swans will take that. Damien Truslow, the Swans coach, will be happy with that one.
Parker backing up his 34 touches from last week with 34 this week.
And still some time to go for Luke Parker. McAndrew just thumps this towards the boundary line. That was deliberate out of bounds, but I don't think the umpire can quite pay that one. And they'll do it again. I'm sure if McAndrew, if you asked him if he could do that again a third time, he'll be happy to just knock it across the boundary line once again.
He's got Leclerc to ruck against. Just having a look around to see where Madden is. Good tap down. Angwin on his left. Inside 50. Big spoil at the back. Footy's still in dispute. They've moved at 40 metres here, the Giants. Off the ground, the Swans clear their defensive 50. And I think they'll get the free kick here. The Giants get it. Well, I thought it was sliding in the other way. Time is of the essence. Deep delivery. Gruzevski. Whistle's been blown. Free kick has gone the way of Gruzevski against Snell. He had a shot for goal from this angle 3 or 4 minutes ago and missed. Has he learnt the lesson? They trail by 10. 30 minutes into this final quarter. Goes the check side and kicks it. This game is alive. 4 points the margin. Gruzevski from the free makes no mistake. Is there time for the Giants?
Absolutely nailed that kick, Max Gruzevski. Tough one from the pocket with a heavy ball. He kicks his third goal, joining Connor Stone, Joel Hamling and James Lugsden with 3 goals each. 30 and a half minutes gone. 4 points the difference. We get set for another thriller in Smithy's VFL.
Gruzevski, the 3 goals. It has been a really, I would say, an even battle between him and Snell, but 3 goals and a goal like that towards the end of the match maybe tips it just towards Gruzevski.
Into the final stages here at the SCG. O'Halloran came running through after neither ruckman could get a meaningful tap on it. Sheldrick just hacks it forward. That's as good as it gets for the Swans at the moment. Alir for Haynes. Dangerous kick back across goal. It sits high. Ethan Williams was composed under it but spilled it. There's the chance for the Swans. Lugsden secures victory for the Sydney Swans. James Lugsden, his 4th goal of the day. The youngsters had a terrific day, and Sydney will win it.
James Lugsden, probably his best day on a footy field. 4 goals in just his 3rd game in the big league here. And he might have just kicked the sealer.
Just as the Giants had got themselves back into it, it's ripped away from them. And you could tell by the way that stoppage was lining up that it was all defence for the Swans. They'd set up their wingers on the corner of the square. Sheldrick just hacked it forward, but it worked out.
In the middle of the ground, another clearance from Parker. Siren goes, and the Swans win a classic. They were pushed in the last quarter by the Giants. The Giants took the lead, but some crucial goals to James Lugsden in that final quarter. An unknown name leading the Swans to victory. It is 12-13, 85.